Welcome to this session of Positive Story Time, designed to help you unwind and relax for a peaceful night's sleep. Sleep is essential for our physical and mental health, yet it can be challenging to switch off and calm our minds after a busy day. By listening to uplifting stories and positive messages, we can shift our focus towards a more optimistic and hopeful mindset, allowing our bodies to rest and rejuvenate. So, get cozy, take some deep breaths, and let's begin. Chapter 1: The Power of Nature. Our first story is about a man named Mark, who was feeling overwhelmed and stressed by his job in the city. One day, he decided to take a break and go on a camping trip in the wilderness. As he immersed himself in nature, he began to feel a sense of peace and tranquility that he had never experienced before. He listened to the sound of the birds, felt the warmth of the sun on his skin, and marveled at the beauty of the natural world around him. When he returned to the city, he felt more relaxed and centered, even in the midst of his busy work schedule. By the end of the story, you might find yourself inspired to take a break and spend some time in nature, even if it's just a walk in the park. Chapter 2: The Kindness of Others. Our second story is about a woman named Maria, who was going through a difficult time in her life. She felt isolated and alone until one day, a stranger reached out to her with a small act of kindness. The stranger's simple gesture of kindness made a huge difference to Maria's day, and it reminded her that there are good people in the world who care. As she began to open herself up to the kindness of others, she found that her mood lifted and her perspective shifted towards a more positive outlook on life. By the end of the story, you might find yourself inspired to show kindness. Chapter 3: Overcoming Adversity. Our third story is about a woman named Rachel, who faced a series of challenges and setbacks in her life. Despite the obstacles in her path, she refused to give up and continued to persevere towards her goals. With each setback, Rachel learned valuable lessons and grew stronger and more resilient. Eventually, she achieved the success and happiness she had been striving for. The story reminds us that even in the face of adversity, we have the strength and determination to overcome it and come out stronger on the other side. By the end of the story, you might find yourself inspired to face your own challenge. Chapter 4: The Power of Gratitude. Our fourth story is about a man named David, who struggled with feelings of dissatisfaction and unhappiness. He began to focus on the negative aspects of his life, feeling like he was always lacking something. One day, he stumbled upon a book about gratitude and began to practice the daily habit of writing down 3 things he was grateful for. Over time, he began to notice a shift in his mindset, as he became more aware of the positive aspects of his life. As he cultivated a sense of gratitude, he found that he felt more content and happy, even in the face of challenges and difficulties. By the end of the story, you might find yourself inspired to start. Chapter 5: Finding Joy in the Little Things. Our fifth and final story is about a woman named Sarah, who was feeling stuck in her daily routine and struggling to find joy in her life. One day, she decided to make a conscious effort to pay attention to the small, simple moments of happiness that she experienced each day. She noticed the warmth of the sun on her face, the taste of her favorite food, the sound of her children laughing. As she focused on these little moments of joy, she found that her mood and overall sense of well-being improved. The story reminds us that happiness doesn't always come from big, monumental events, but can be found in the small, everyday moments of life. By the end of the story, you might find yourself in conclusion. As we come to the end of our 5-hour session of Positive Story Time, I hope that you feel more relaxed, peaceful, and centered. Remember, by listening to uplifting stories and positive messages, we can shift our mindset towards a more optimistic and hopeful perspective, allowing our bodies and minds